All right, so now that Brutus has revealed to Cassius that Portia has died, he is once again back to his rational and logical self, even when those around him, especially Cassius and Messala, those who bring the news of Portia's death, and it is revealed to them that Brutus already knew about his wife's death, even when they tell him to discuss it or take some time to feel that grief, Brutus says, no, it's all okay, I'm fine, let's move forward. So Brutus refuses to mull or to spend any more time on discussing Portia's death, and his main aim again has become to refocus on the battle plans. So we now see Brutus returning to his rational and logical self that we've known him to be throughout the play. In his highly logical self, he knows that preparing for the impending war, for the upcoming war, is more important than anything else. Even his own grief at his wife's death is less important than preparing for the war. So, what is the situation back in Rome? The news that is brought to him by Masala is that 100 senators have been put to death, and one of them is Cicero. So, what we see here is that Antony and Octavius are not sparing anyone. They are anyone we saw in the beginning of the scene as well, that they were discussing who was to die. So, they're not sparing anyone. Anyone who has even the slightest connection with the conspirators is to be killed. So Antony and Octavius, they are gaining power and they are asserting that power by killing all. Unimportant, important. We know that senators hold a very important place, so everyone is being killed. Cassius and Brutus disagree over tactics. Tactics means how to approach the war. Brutus feels that their army should march to Philippi immediately. Cassius does not think that to be a good idea. If you look at the bottom of your left in this on the screen, "'Tis better that the enemy seek us. So shall he waste his means and weary his soldiers." Cassius feels that it's better for their army to relax in this position, to relax at this point, and for Antony and Octavius Caesar's army to grow weary, grow tired by approaching them. Brutus, on the other hand, feels that if they march on to Philippi right now, it is going to give them a better position, because the people of Philippi, they will then pledge their allegiance to them. And if Antony and Octavius Caesar's army is given a chance to go to Philippi first, they are going to gather more soldiers, they are going to gather more support. That's what Brutus says. If you look at the right, the enemy marching along by them. Marching along by them means marching along the streets of Philippi. By them shall make a fuller number up. They will gain more soldiers. They will gain more support. So Brutus feels that it's better for their army to go and gather as much support as possible rather than let the other army gain that advantage. Cassius here agrees with Brutus. There is some argument, but at the end, Cassius gives in to Brutus. Now, again, this is up to the reader to decide whether Cassius's giving in is a tactic or he actually feels bad for Brutus. He actually is giving Brutus that space to grieve over Portia's death, and that is why he's not challenging any of his decisions right now. So whatever conclusion that you as a reader come to, the night comes to a close and all of these people are now going to rest. So Brutus, because he is very aggrieved, he is sad with the events of the day, he is tired probably. So Brutus asks Lucius to play an instrument. "Touch thy instrument a strain or two." He wants Lucius to play some tunes so that it can help lighten the mood and that everybody can relax. One thing that you don't see on the screen here, and when you will read through your text, you will get to know that Brutus ensures that there are a lot of people in his tent around him, and he goes to sleep. Maybe he needs the comfort of his companions, of his friends, because he's so grieved. He wants people around him at that time. So they all turn in, they all go to sleep. And as they go to sleep, what happens? The ghost of Caesar. Now, foreshadowing. All of you, I'm sure you're aware of the purpose of foreshadowing. You are aware of what foreshadowing is. So here what happens is that Brutus sees a ghost, and the ghost calls Brutus an evil spirit. Thy evil spirit, Brutus. So Brutus does not immediately say, why are you calling me evil? Brutus says, why are you here? Why comest thou? So what does the ghost respond? To tell thee thou shalt see me at Philippi. The ghost tells Brutus, I will see you on the battlefield at Philippi. So Brutus, well, then I shall see thee again. So it is very clear by Brutus's responses here that he is completely confused. Why does he see Caesar at this point? Why do you think, as a reader, that after everything that has happened in this particular scene, after everything that he discussed with Cassius and whatever he's feeling after Portia's death, why is he seeing Caesar's ghost? So if you look at the analysis, Caesar's ghost is both an omen and a warning. Omen means that it's telling you that something bad is going to happen. And the ghost tells Brutus that he will die at Philippi. He doesn't tell him straightforward, he doesn't tell him straight up, you're going to die, Brutus. He tells him, I will see you again at Philippi. Now, if you recall the scene with Cinna the poet, he also says that he had a dream where he saw himself feasting with Caesar. So again here, what is the significance of Caesar's ghost appearing? Cinna the poet saw Caesar in his dreams, and immediately afterwards he was killed. And Brutus here, he sees Caesar's ghost. So what is going to happen next? Brutus here experiences a prophetic dream. Prophetic dream means that it is a foreboding of something that is going to happen in the future. It is sort of a prediction that whatever is going to happen, that is seen in that prophetic dream. And Shakespeare uses such elements to create intrigue and board of future events. Create intrigue means to keep the reader interested in what is going to happen. If Shakespeare had not introduced any such ghost here, it would not have created as much as great an influence, as you would not want to read forward as much. But this, it actually catches your interest. You're going to read forward. You're going to try and figure out whether Brutus is going to die or not. So now a thinking point for you here is, what do you think is the significance of Caesar's ghost appearing to Brutus? Why does Brutus see Caesar's ghost? Why doesn't he see Portia's ghost? Why specifically does he see Caesar's ghost? Is it because the guilt in him is rising? Is it because he now feels that he was wrong in killing Caesar? Or is it an actual prediction of the future? Does this ghost actually imply that Brutus is going to die? And if you look here in this previous slide, will Brutus accept his fate? Is Brutus simply going to say to everyone, okay, everyone, I saw Caesar's ghost in my dream. I saw Caesar, so now I'm going to die, so I better just stay in my tent and not do anything? Is that what is going to happen? Is that what you have come to know of Brutus's character now? Is Brutus going to give in completely? What is the significance actually of Shakespeare introducing Caesar's ghost here? So students, your assignment for today, I'm just going to read out the question here. Brutus has endured two significant setbacks in this scene. It is Portia's death and the appearance of Caesar's ghost. How do you think that will affect him and his decisions in the next act? So you're going to go to Google Classroom and you are going to attempt this question. If you have any further queries, please address it through the Google Classroom to your teachers. I hope everything was clear and you enjoyed this session. Thank you very much for listening to me. Allah Hafiz.